Is Saw a good ride? To answer that question, I'll rate it on 4 different categories: intensity, speed, enjoyability, and then theming. And then I'll give an overall rating out of 10. Let's go. Now, before we start, Saw the Ride is a Gerstlauer manufactured Eurofighter model, opening in 2009 as the world's steepest roller coaster at the time, and the first ever horror-themed roller coaster based on the box office hit that was the Saw franchise, as part of the project to transform Thorpe Park into a more grown-up day out. First, with speed, and Saw goes 89 kilometers an hour or 55 miles an hour, which is almost as fast as Rita. It goes 95 kilometers an hour or 60 miles an hour. So much for the Queen of Speed. Not even as fast as Oblivion. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Saw, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for speed. Next, intensity. And the most intense part of the ride is the beyond vertical drop, right? Sort of. I'd say the first drop is slightly more intense, especially for first riders, because you don't see it coming. Obviously, the 120 degree drop is a key part of the ride, and I will talk about it later. It can hurt more than feel intense. It's that drop and the bit after that as well. I mean, it is a really intense element, but nevertheless, it's a fairly intense ride. I'll give it 7 out of 10 for intensity. Now, enjoyability, or how enjoyable the ride is. And the indoor section at the start is great, and probably the best part of the ride. That zero-G roll is so good, I love it. And, of course, the beyond vertical drop is very fun. However, the ride can be very rough. The outdoor section can be very painful on some rides, and the brakes at the end are very harsh and sudden. So, I'll give it a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to move it down to 7.5, just because of how rough it can be on some days. Now up, it's theming, and it's themed incredibly well. From the queue line to the station, the whole ride, it looks incredible, very intimidating as they were going for. And, from the front, it looks great, although less so now Hyperia's there, as it's about 4 times larger, just behind, and it's sort of just, you could just see it, and it's, whatever. Other than that, the queue, everything, great themed. The Saw element, that first bit as well, first bit of the ride, really well themed. And the whole thing is an incredible experience. So, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Overall, Saw the Ride is decently fast, quite intense, and incredibly well themed. And overall, an incredibly enjoyable experience. It can be rough, so overall I'll give Saw the Ride an 8 out of 10.